I am very proud to be beginning this wonderful, I'll borrow one of the mayor's words, this extraordinary day. And it really is, and I thank the mayor for organizing this, a day that we're going to honor Ray Pfeiffer. There are a lot of courageous people in the room, none more courageous than Ray, and no one deserves this more than he. But many folks in the room worked tirelessly to see that this very important bill was passed. And when it did pass, I know all of us in the police department, the fire department, everyone that was involved 9/11 celebrated. And the person that had most to do with getting it done, although everyone had something to do with it, is right next to me. Yes. And I know he doesn't relish the role of poster boy for this, but he certainly deserves it, and no one deserves it more than he. So we're here to celebrate him, and I will turn the mic over to somebody who, when we needed an extra push, and we certainly did as this thing lagged on, who tirelessly was our advocate every day, went to Washington and really pushed this over the top, I think, is John Stewart. So I'd like to bring him to the microphone.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this.
Right? Really? That's nice. Thank you. I'm excited. You know, I was Ray's wingman on our trips down to D.C., and I'm excited about this because I know for a fact Ray hates this. So I'm excited to be here to make him the center of attention, which he rightly deserves. They've made an excellent choice with Ray. The key to the city is it's a symbol of trust. And I think that if you gave it to me, you'd go to sleep, I'd steal the Chrysler building. But Ray, you come back the next morning, everything is where you left it, and also the dishes are done, and the streets are plowed. This is, he's the best. I'll tell you just a quick story about how I found out what I was dealing with as far as Ray is concerned. So I guess it was the time we were down there, and we come out of an elevator, and there's a woman there, and someone pokes me and goes, you know, that's a senator from Nebraska, Deb Fischer. So I run down the hallway, because that's our job down there. My job there is to have the camera and to embarrass people. So I run down and I grab Deb Fischer, senator from Nebraska, who's not on the bill. And I say, oh, Senator, you know, I know you have great respect for this country. I know you have great respect for the heroes of 9/11. Oh, absolutely, sir. Well, I just thought maybe you'd like to tell them that. And there's Ray, because Ray's always there. And she turns around and she starts to talk to Ray. And they talk for a little bit, and she's got just a complete blank look in her eyes, as many in Washington seem to have. And that's it. And I feel like, yeah, nailed her. I see Ray the next time, and he goes, yeah, you know, I felt so bad about that. I said, what do you mean you felt bad about it? He said, well, we ambushed her in the hallway, and I felt bad about that. And I thought, that's the measure of the grace of this man. He goes down there sick to lobby on behalf of all others. We run down a senator, and he is haunted by the fact that we might have made her feel uncomfortable, because that is the kind of empathy that this gentleman has. So I say to him, well, what'd you do? So he started writing her to apologize and called her, and they became friendly, and she signed on to the bill. Yeah. And that's how this man operates. Now me, I just annoyed her. And I would have called it a day at that. I would have been satisfied that I had done my job. But Ray did it the right way, and so I said to him, you're unbelievable. And he goes, well, that's what we do. We do good cop, bad cop. So I'm the bad cop, right? He goes, you're the bad cop. But it's my honor. I love this man. He is a great example to all of us about how to live our lives with grace and with selflessness and with the ability to contribute in a manner that, while he believes that it is just his duty, that's just the way he was raised, that's just who he is, it's magnificent to any of us who have witnessed it, who perhaps don't possess those characteristics in such high levels as this man. So, Ray, you're a wonderful man. Now that you have the key to the city, Obviously, in some ways, I have the key to the city. So, free parking. Done. So it is my absolute honor to be here, and as always, with all these guys who I was absolutely blown away by every time we went down there. Their ability to withstand having to fight for a thing that they never should have had been down there to fight for in the first place was, as they have done since 9/11, raised my spirits and my hope for the future in a way that nothing else could. So I thank them and I thank you.
John, thank you for all you did in this fight. A lot of us for many years hung on your every word in that other phase of your life when you were on television. And I think you were one of the great, were and are, one of the great social commentators of our time, one of the great comedians of our time, but I believe you're an even better activist. And you get a share of the credit here, too, for this great victory. This is something extraordinary. The word extraordinary is necessary, but for two reasons. One, an extraordinary fight. Everyone in this room was a part of this victory, a long, difficult fight. And when it's an uphill battle, and when there's horrible misunderstanding and stinginess and all sorts of other factors in your way, but you overcome all that through persistence, and because you had right on your side, that's an extraordinary victory. You had all sorts of politics in your way, but you overcame it. But it's extraordinary, too, something John and I were talking about when we were coming in. It's extraordinary because it's a fight that should not have to have been fought. You know, that part of our founding document that says we hold these truths to be self-evident? Supporting our heroes should be self-evident. Supporting people who put their lives on the line for us should be a no-brainer. It should be nonpartisan. It should be a layup. But it wasn't, not this year or in years past. And so you had to fight. And we honor everyone today. We honor Ray in particular for being a leader among leaders, but we honor everyone because you never gave up that fight. You understood it was self-evident, but still, you had to fight. 72,000 people. Yeah, maybe would have understood it was just a handful of people, but 72,000 heroes, people who depended on the World Trade Center health program. And now, finally, because of everyone's efforts here, and particularly because of Ray's leadership, all 72,000 get to wake up in the morning and not have that horrible, pervasive worry about their future. They don't have to wonder what's going to happen next to them and their families because they did the right thing when it was their moment to stand up. They'll have the care they need for as long as they need it. What should have been from day one finally is true now. They'll have the full faith and backing of the United States of America. And it only happened because of all of you. There is no way to compare the extraordinary sacrifice, the intense bravery, the courage, the awesome sacrifice of those who were part of the rescue and recovery versus the small contribution that our government is finally making to them. But we still see the justice in this action. And we recognize that the heroes who put their lives on the line were part of this victory, and there were other heroes, folks who don't always get the respect they deserve, but in this case, elected officials and community leaders and well-known figures in our society who stood up and did the right thing and were relentless about it. So it is humbling to be in the presence of so many people who did so much good. Our first responders, the survivors, the activists, the elected officials, the advocates who never stopped fighting. It's one of those moments to realize that the good guys can win the day, but it took so much effort, so much fight, but it was worth it. We're here in this beautiful hall today that represents all that's good about this city, and I want to thank all our colleagues at the City Council for hosting us here in their chambers, Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito and all the members of the Council who were vividly involved, actively involved in this fight alongside all of you, and we want to thank them for that advocacy. We want to thank some great leaders who could not be with us today, but their presence is dearly felt for all they did. Senator Gillibrand and Congresswoman Maloney and so many others who were part of this fight. We want to thank Dan Nigro, who you heard from a moment ago, our extraordinary fire commissioner, who was there that day leading the men and women of the FDNY in the middle of that horrible, tragic day. We want to thank former Commissioner Sal Casano for all he's done. Jimmy O'Neill, Chief of Department of NYPD. We want to thank our members of Congress who just would not stop. They kept fighting day in and day out, and it was bipartisan. I want to thank Jerry Nadler just as much as I want to thank Pete King. They were there shoulder to shoulder. I want to thank Nydia Velasquez for being steadfast. I want to bipartisan also in our legislature in Albany, Senator Marty Golden, Assemblyman Peter Abate. I want to thank them for their good work. Two people get a special thanks because when we were ready to give this good man the key to the city, and I don't know anyone who deserves it more than Ray, but I do want to note, since John made that point about he's going to have it too, someone check the Chrysler Building tomorrow morning, make sure there's nothing wrong. But we would not be able to have this great event today if it weren't for two leaders who really made it happen. Borough President Gail Brewer, Councilmember Margaret Chin, we thank you for that. We thank the union leaders. There's so many who were crucial in this fight. Two of them here today I want to thank. Steve Cassidy, President of the UFA, and Izzy Miranda, President of the Uniform EMTs, Paramedics, and Fire Inspectors. We thank advocates who worked tirelessly, Catherine McVeigh Hughes, the great work she did, and a shy, retiring guy, you probably never heard from him, but he worked hard. I just wish he had a little more personality, a little more colorful presentation. John Field, thank you for all you did. And we not only thank all of Ray's family, all of his friends, all of his colleagues, all the people that are here because they know and love him. I want to do a special thank you because not only is Karen Pfeiffer his wonderful wife and the mother of his wonderful children, it is her birthday today. Let's give Karen a big round of applause. Everyone who was part of the rescue and the recovery, everyone who was part of putting this city back on its feet, we're honoring all of them today. Remember those days? Remember how much we didn't know what the future held. We didn't know what it would take to recover. We didn't know what the possibilities were because those moments felt so dire. So many people, firefighters, cops, sanitation workers, EMTs, so many people were part of bringing us back to who we are today. And it's important to remember all of them. It's a proud day for people who will never be famous but did things so worthy. People like Jamie Hazen, a volunteer EMT with lung disease who said, this is such a powerful statement, I volunteered my whole life and I didn't have to be at ground zero, but I love my city. I love my country, but I never imagined it would kill me. That summarizes what so many have been through. It's a proud day for Jennifer McNamara, and her son John. Jennifer's husband and Jack's father, son Jack, my apology, son Jack. Jennifer's husband and Jack's father, John McNamara, worked over 500 hours at Ground Zero. In 2006, when Jennifer was pregnant with Jack, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. John was diagnosed with colon cancer and passed away in 2009. So we remember everyone who contributed, whether they're still here with us or not. But we honor one man, and we honor him because he exemplifies all that was good about those who served and all that was good about those who fought for justice after. And giving out the key to the city is one of the extraordinary things the mayor gets to do, one of the truly special things. Can't think of anyone who deserves it more than Ray Pfeiffer. Key to the city was made for people like Ray Pfeiffer. Let me take a little trip down memory lane. John gave you a flavor of who this man is. I want to see him blush here, though, so I'm going to tell you a little more. February 17th, 1987, a great day for this city. That was the day Ray joined the FDNY. And every day after, he wore his uniform with pride, just as he does today, with pride, with love, with commitment. And 9/11 was no different. For a week after that horrible day, Ray slept on his fire truck. He was at Ground Zero for the next 8 months, scouring the debris. People asked him why he stayed. His answer was painful but simple: to find his friends. And that determination, that single-mindedness, that was inspiring. It was inspiring to everyone around him. It was a reminder of what commitment looks like. And you can see it in the months and years after as he fought cancer. And you could see it in the halls of Washington. There is a famous saying about Ray that he walked 140 miles through the halls of Congress. That's how relentless he was. It didn't matter if he was in pain. It didn't matter if it was a difficult task. It was something he felt he had to do for an entire generation of first responders and survivors. And you all know there were some moments where it did not look like a victorious fight. You all know there were moments where you had every right to be discouraged. Ray is not particularly familiar with the notion of being discouraged. He just stuck with it. He knew it was his calling. And it's not the first time he felt a calling. I mentioned the day he joined the FDNY. Well, long before, even when he was a small boy, he felt the calling to be a firefighter. His father was a volunteer firefighter, used to take Ray to the firehouse, and Ray helped to clean the fire trucks, and he felt like he belonged there. And he was so convinced he was going to be a firefighter, he had a toy fire truck he played with, and he insisted that his sisters put their Barbie dolls on the fire truck. He was a leader very early on, you can see. He would make people do the right thing. His mother instilled in him a spirit of kindness. She said to him and to his 6 siblings, if you just smile at one person, you might just change their whole day. So you can see where that grace came from. And that spirit is as strong as ever. He's put not only that great energy into winning this legislation, he poured it into a beautiful 1946 fire truck that his brother Joe bought him after his cancer diagnosis. And because it's Ray, he didn't just keep it to himself and admire it. He decided to turn it into a mobile work of art for the entire community. Hundreds of people put their love into that truck because they love Ray. They fixed it up, gave it a new coat of paint, and ever since, it's been on a mission, spreading joy wherever, spreading hope to schools where kids are taught about fire safety, rides given to kids with cancer, autism, and brightening the days of folks who have gone through tough times, our wounded warriors and burn victims. Wherever that truck goes, it brings the Pfeiffer spirit with it. And that spirit, by the way, as you heard, his father and his mother deserve a lot of credit. But it obviously is now running in the family. Ray's son, Terrence, who was just 10 on 9/11, is now a member of FDNY's EMS Station 54. Let's give him a round of applause. But wait, there's more. His daughter, Taylor, aspires to join the NYPD, and I know she's going to get there. So we're going to celebrate today a great man, a great family, a great victory. Before I formally present the key, I just want to say a few words in Spanish. Hoy es un gran día para la ciudad de Nueva York y el país. Más de 72,000 socorristas, trabajadores de rescate y sobrevivientes del 11 de septiembre ya tienen una garantía de que recibirán el cuidado médico que necesitan y merecen. También me honra entregar la llave de la ciudad al bombero retirado Ray Pfeiffer. Damos las gracias a todos los héroes que lucharon para reautorizar la ley Zadroga. I just want to say to everyone who was a part of this fight, God bless you for all you've done. God bless New York City, and God bless America. This is a day to celebrate. John, what did you just say?
You don't want me to.
Yeah, we're not repeating what John Field said. That wouldn't be the first time. You ready, brother?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry with the leg.
No worries. No worries. Take your time.
hurry up.
Take your time, brother.
I'm good.
All right, here we go. It is my honor to present the key to the city of New York to Ray Pfeiffer.
I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to say.
You deserve it all. You deserve it all.
I'm good. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Council. Thank you for all the elected officials here today and everyone here. It is very overwhelming, to say the least. I was a very small part, believe it or not, in this. You know, I was years ago when I first got sick, Commissioner Cassano said, Ray, you're going to be the guy. And he allowed me to use my uniform and help out in a way that it just fit. Bunch of cops, bunch of correction guys, sanitation, led by a crazy guy, John Field, a little bit. And we got something done that I never would have thought would have been done. It was a hard fought. We dealt with people that didn't really get it. You know, we held them to it about never forgetting. And we told them, we're still dying from terrorists. We're still sick from terrorists. They started to get it. A lot of help from Congress, a lot of help from senators. Pete King's office, Kristen Gillibrand's office, guided us through this whole step by step by step. You know, I was just a poster boy. You know, I don't know why. I mean, everybody did something. You know, where I want to be, as I want to be up there with those guys on the back step. You know, that's all I wanted to be and aspire to. I know I'm a fireman, that's what I wanted to do. But I had so much help. the fire department's been above and beyond, the doctors, the nurses, the care, that 72,000 people are in this program now. 72,000 people have health care that is deserving. The numbers are mind-boggling when you start to see what we actually did. And not only that we just helped 9/11 victims, we helped a whole slew of people that this offspin is going to help military people and everything else. So it's far beyond New York City. America was attacked, and we had to convince senators and congressmen that that was the true deal. That's what happened to us. So I was a very small part, and I appreciate everything. My family's been behind me. My wife, who's every day is my nurse. My daughter and my son, I'm very proud of both. I've always been proud of them, but they stepped up big time for me. And all my friends, I mean, everyone in this room somehow touched me, and I feel it. I think that's why I'm so strong today, is because I know I have every single face. I'm looking at every face that has been so strong for me, and I won't let you down, hopefully. Knock on wood. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're not going to let us down. You're doing good.
Don't forget the key. Don't forget the key. Oh, John. I forgot to mention John.
Stop it. Stop it, baby. Come on.
We already told you he was going to steal his key.
I got that, baby. Yeah. I'm taking that.
You going to say something?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. First of all, I just want to say we want to also welcome Congressman Elliot Engel and thank him for all his key support here. And former Chief of Department FDNY, Edward Kilduff, thank you for your leadership. Let's thank them both. I want to report a miracle has occurred, and John Field has come out of his shell and is ready to speak publicly.
Don't make me run against you. You know, in April when this bill was introduced, we already started the progress of working on this bill in January. And we went down there as strangers, cops, firefighters, construction workers, volunteers. But we came back as a family. And I think that's because of Ray. See, Ray wasn't the smartest guy on our team. In fact, we would leave a meeting and Ray like, yeah, we're going to get that person to co-sponsor. I go, Ray, I bet you $1 they don't. And Ray owes me a few dollars. I've been doing this long enough to know who supported us and who didn't. But Ray brought that gullibility, that naive, but it was pure. He was a virgin. He was so blind to the insides of the politics until he saw the ugliness of D.C. and how it actually worked. And when Ray transitioned from the cane to the wheelchair, that wheelchair became our sword. That wheelchair was symbolic of those who were home, who could not be there in D.C. to fight with us. And yes, Ray became the face and the poster child of this movement. But between the UFA and the UFOA and the PBA and the Labor and Ben Chevette and Susie Ballantyne and the Feel Good Foundation, it was truly a family that got this done. I can thank the elected officials till I'm blue in the face, but that was their job. They get paid to pass legislation. They got their thank yous from me. But 3 weeks ago from today, I said, give Ray the key. Join me now on 3 and say, Ray got the key. 1, 2, 3. Ray got the key. In closing, everything I've done to preserve history. the last 13 years of my life was to document the fight that we've gone through. Ray is going to donate that key to the 9/11 Museum, where it belongs. And that key will tell the history of what transpired after that horrific Tuesday. History will never be distorted now because of this day. Because I've said it a million times in D.C., this was our story to tell. And by the mayor of New York City giving Ray that key, it truly was our story to tell. And we're telling it now through Ray Pfeiffer and his key to New York City. And Ray, to be in the category of Nelson Mandela and the Dalai Lama, dude, if there's not a jealous person in this room, they're just... And whatever you do, don't give Stuart the key. You know, in closing again, you know, I have donated a kidney to a complete stranger. I've been part of helping pass 4 bills in Congress. I donated $4 million, but this is the greatest day of my life.
Amen.
All right, everyone, we have a lot to celebrate. Right down the hall, reception, where we can all spend some time together and be thankful for this good man. Thank you, everyone.